So it also applies to obviously blasters, corruptors, and of course defenders and dominators as well. And in particular, what we're trying to do is find powers that have maybe particular flavor. You know, like you're all used to this, you're all used to this. You know, that kind of stuff is the sort of thing we're going to target to give you a new flavor. You know, so maybe this doesn't fit your robot character. Well, now you have an option. Now you can shift it and look the way you really want to. There's a couple other things we're working on. Obviously, we've been supporting design with all these new maps. You're going to see redressed versions of all these zones you're quite familiar with, and you're going to see them in an entirely different light. Yeah. And so you guys have encountered the IDF before, but in sort of a temporary costume. This is the real deal. This is the true IDF look and feel, and they are pretty badass. And of course, we've already talked about Praetorian giant monsters. These are tough. These are big, tough enemies, and you're going to have a lot of fun trying to kill them. Oh yeah, and then so we bagged a couple of auras for the next issue, and they snuck out the door prematurely through technical issues. And the form response was actually really awesome. You know, you guys liked them, so we're like, okay, let's give them to them. Yeah. So those are yours.
But I wasn't done. I get to keep going. So, I mean, I think most people know about this, but, you know, fitness is now an inherent power for you. I said this before at another panel. What I wanted to make sure that we did was keep Praetoria pure, so that everybody who is experiencing Praetoria for the very first time, it's a completely level playing field. So you guys have a fresh experience. So now that we've had some time for everyone to, you know, experience the content, now we're going to actually open it up for Primal Earthlings so they can experience it as well. One of the things that players have been asking for is notoriety contacts in Praetoria, and if anybody doesn't know what a notoriety contact is, they are kind of your difficulty sliders. These are the contacts that make your missions tougher or easier, so you can challenge yourself as much as you want. And we had notoriety contacts in City of Heroes and City of Villains, but now they're in Praetoria as well. So the Calvin Scott, Primal Calvin Scott Task Force is back. This is something that players actually expected to get with Ouroboros, but didn't. For technical reasons, should we tell the story? It's kind of a goofy story.
Yeah, so, well, why don't you tell the story?
All right, I'll tell the story. So, when one of our developers was basically, you know, putting contacts in the world and coming up with names and stuff like that, I kind of forgot that Sister Psyche was a redhead, and she sort of changed her look, and so the Calvin Scott Task Force was the answer to go from, okay, why does she look like this, and now she looks like this? So what is the transition between Aurora Borealis and Sister Psyche? And this was kind of our, hey, it's so great when you own the IP, you can do whatever you want. And this was our kind of our answer to that. And so...
for anybody who has seen the original City of Heroes cover, you notice that there are 3 signature characters, or 4 signature characters on there. Statesman, Sister Psyche, and Miss Liberty and Back Alley Brawler. That Sister Psyche
was not in the original.
Yes, so this was supposed to be Sister Psyche.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Aurora Borealis.
Forgot the name, did something else.
Wrong model name.
Yeah.
And so there was a switch, so we had to explain why we had it. Why in all of our marketing materials, Sister Psyche was presented as a redhead, and in our game, she wasn't, so we had to come up with some fiction. And
fast moving.
And that that fiction meant the end of the Calvin Scott Task Force.
But now it's back, because you guys wanted it. The great thing with Ouroboros is you can go back in time and things change. Okay, so since the monorail is really jealous of the auction houses merging, they decided to merge them too. So now you should be able to travel much faster, easier, shinier within Paragon City and the Rogue Isles on your ferries and your monorails. I don't know if you can see in the picture, but we've also given you a little bit more information about the zones. So we put a level range on there as well for you. So if you're just, you know, a brand new player and you hop the monorail, you end up at Peregrine Island and get jumped by something really nasty, well, now you can make an informed decision. Yeah, so what we've also done, and it doesn't show here, but when, if you've got actually a tram mission that's going to take you to, you have to hop on the monorail to get to your mission, it'll actually be flagged with a star at the top of the list, so you know that that's an important area that you need to go to. Just kind of make it more obvious for you. Yeah. So hospital gurneys and hazard and trial zones. I actually did a hospital gurney when I kind of redid the hollows, and players really seemed to like the fact that they didn't have to go all the way back to Alex Park or whatever their previous zone was when they were defeated. So what we did was we basically went through all of our hazard trial zones and we added those gurneys as well, so that you're not tricking back several zones to get back to your, fight. So, yay, you're welcome. And one of the other things that we did in Pretoria was we threw these little kind of low-level inspiration nurses that are stores in the hospitals in Pretoria, and of course they all have names that may or may not be familiar to you. It was a little bit of an Easter egg on my part. So we put them in all of the hospitals in Paragon City and the Rogue Isles, but I guarantee you that I did not give them unique names because it just ran out. I'm sorry, they're all called nurse or combat medic. So, Tia, in her lovely dulcet tones, just makes me all relaxed and peaceful.
So this now marks the end of our presentation. We will shortly be taking questions from our attendees. And I would like to ask that you keep those questions focused on the content of this presentation and issue 19. So while you guys line up on that side of the room, I do have a few questions for our panelists. So Vanessa, you told us a whole load of awesome features.
I got nothing left. I can't even believe I have a voice anymore.
Is there anything else at all that you haven't touched on issue 19?
No, nothing. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I got one little thing. A lot of people have been asking over the years, hey, would it be nice if we could actually have the option to log out to character selection? Well, with issue 19, we will now be able to do that. Oh. I know, I want to
And so, when will our players be able to actually beta test issue 19?
So closed beta is actually starting next week. Yeah, starting soon.
And talking about beta, how has issue 20 pre-beta been going?
I'm just waiting for Positron to call me and tell me not to say anything, but actually it's been really amazing. We've gotten some fantastic feedback. We've been iterating on it, and I participated in a few of these and got my arse handed to me quite literally because I didn't actually remember to slot the alpha slot, but like I said, learn from me, you know. And it's just been a lot of fun. Players are really excited about it, and you guys are going to love it.
So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but typically we only beta test one issue in advance, so
we're juggling, baby.
We're juggling so many initiatives. I mean, we're supporting our live game that we just launched 6 weeks ago. We have issue 19 going into beta next week, and we are also doing concurrent end game testing, the incarnate issue testing right now. Right. So we're
busy.
We're very, very busy. So yeah. So yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Can you give a little bit more information about the participation? Once I had a conversation about this, but the problem was, how do you do a kill scenario with someone who can't kill a bug, as opposed to a blaster who can kill everything?
Without getting into real big specifics, we're just making sure that if you're participating in the event, that you're just participating in the event. So
buffing, debuffing.
Yes, it counts. So it's not like if you're the healer, you're like, well, I didn't actually attack anything, so I didn't do very well. We actually are accounting for that for your rewards.
I mean, and again, now that with issue 19, and we're moving the fitness pool into an inherent, players now have more options to choose attack powers as opposed to just trying to build up towards stamina at level 20. So the game is going to completely change with issue 19. Not only because we're introducing the incarnate system with the alpha slot, but because now players are going to have to respec their characters because of the fitness pool. I mean, you have access to 3 more powers that you didn't have access before because you're all building towards stamina in the fitness pool. I mean, it's going to be really amazing, and I think players are going to find that the game just doesn't open up at level 20 because you have stamina. The game is going to open up tremendously well. It's going to be more faster because you can kill faster or beat other critters faster very early on.
Hi, I was just wondering, you said with the Apex F-Force that you and I'm wondering how will older content like stay alive with all this power increase, because you know everything now kind of seems simple, and with fitness becoming inherent and getting more powers, it just seems like it's becoming easier and easier. How will the older content like stay alive?
Well, something we could, we haven't actually really talked about upping or updating the older content. So basically, if you are that much better, it will be that much easier for you. But what we're also doing with the incarnate system is these amazing incarnate trials. And so if you're an incarnate, those are built for you, and they're not easy, even if you are incarnate. And a lot of those task forces, those previous task forces, aren't just level 50. Those span all over ranges.
And one thing to point out, just because you do the mission to unlock your alpha slot, you have to put something in it. And to put something in it, you have to do activities, high level, level 50 stuff, like the level 50 task forces, standard missions. I forget the full list, but you have to keep on doing stuff. You have to continue to do your normal activities, because again, we want to reward players for just playing the game, right? And once you get those rewards, you can make the thing that you put in your alpha slot. And once issue 19 beta comes out, you'll totally understand.
Hi again. Is there a difference between a villain incarnate and a hero incarnate? In terms of what you get, slot, and future skills?
No.
Well, and you have to take that concept of a hero archetype and a villain archetype totally away, because going rogue.
So once you're incarnate.
I mean, going rogue has allowed those previous villain-only archetypes to become heroes, right? It all boils down to your powers and your play skill.
We're trying not to. Post-Trum's going to call me in like 5 seconds, and he's going to say, "Stop talking about that stuff. Stop talking about incarnate stuff."
How would you be able to differentiate a normal superhero and an incarnate? Would there be like new costume pieces or a special aura?
Well, now you're talking about rewards, incarnate rewards,
No.
and
Can't talk about
we can't say. Dude, I wasn't going to go anywhere. Yes.
Don't know if this question will work, but if you can slot an alpha slot, I mean, if you get this alpha slot, and
I'm going to let Jesse answer all these questions now.
it takes a ton of stuff to put together this enhancement that goes in the alpha slot, then when you respec, what happens to it? Say, does it break down, or would you be able to reslot it?
Issue 19 beta starts actually.
These are all really excellent questions. Yeah, these are really excellent questions, but we're definitely be going into more detail on this when we do our other one.
I'm a massive fan, huge fan.
Awesome, thank you.
You said blasters, the way you attack kind of changes. You said it.
I talked a lot, but I did not say that.
For the armor, like granite armor, because I have a level 50 tank. Is like the actual granite armor going to change in any way?
Where'd your mic go, man? Oh.
So the alternate animations we create for this apply to all the powers that you saw there. They don't apply to other ones, but this is obviously just the beginning. We have lots of issues we have to cover. We would love to make even more alternate animations. And if you want to find me on my All Things Art threads on the boards and give me suggestions about what you want those future animations to be, please do it.
Okay, I have 2 questions. First one is actually elaborating on the first question, which was the buffing for the zone events. Are you going to be doing all the zone events, or is this just for Pretoria? Because heavy race is always an issue.
Well, the zone events in Pretoria are just a start, because like I said, designers never had the tools to do these things solo, which is great, because that kind of gives us the opportunity to go back into other zones, like all the zones in Primal Earth, like Paragon City and Rogas, actually don't yet have them, and we can do that completely on our own. Do we have plans in the immediate future to do that? Not yet, but it's definitely something we've talked about.
Okay. And
oh, you had another one. I love your T-shirt.
You know that I'm going to ask, and I'm going to wrap it around I-19. So
oh my
goodness.